more and more critical. Threat of diseases like malaria.
Hello again, you're watching Sky News. The top stories this lunchtime. Sky sources say the Prime Minister has intervened to ensure the cuts to the Ministry of Defence's budget are less than 10% in next week's spending review. In an exclusive interview with Sky, the former co-owner of Liverpool, Tom Hicks, has claimed he's the victim of a conspiracy to force him out of the club. And climate change activists have handcuffed themselves to lorries and blocked Britain's busiest refinery, the Corryton refinery in Essex. Police have stopped other demonstrators from joining them via the transport network. Now, a new report from the WWF reveals the devastating impact humans are having. Marwell Wildlife Zoo, thank you. Now, she dreamed a dream. Now Susan Boyle has written all about it. She's been signing copies of her autobiography in central London today, and she's told Sky News why she wanted to write a book.
I decided to do the book. I got some to prove a point. To prove a point.
What points?
I'm as good as anybody else, and I can keep going.
What's next for you?
Who knows? Watch a space.
But can Subo be the start to buck the decline in celebrity books? With me, as you can see, showbiz writer and debut novelist, Martell Maxwell. Hello, congratulations on your book. We'll talk about that in a minute. She's signing copies. It's the only time Subo is doing these signings, isn't she? Are they worried a bit about her?
Yes, well, yes. It's been very, very carefully structured so that they've said, the organisers have said, you're allowed 2 books. You can only have 2 signed. You have to have a wristband to prove that you've bought the book.
It's a bit like the Tony Blair episode. Exactly.
And you have people like Leona Lewis, who was belted by a fan, so you've got to be really careful. So Subo is just doing this one-off. I think it'll sell really well. I went into Waterstone's, got my copy, and bless her, I just read a few pages. Now, I don't think she's lovingly crafted every word herself, but it does sound like she's speaking to you.
And she does, we all know she does have an interesting story.
She really does. In April 2009, she celebrated her 48th birthday. No cards, no money, no pals around her. She didn't know what she was going to do with her life. She was a bit sad. And the next year, she's in Japan in front of an 80-piece orchestra, 10,000 people in the audience singing Happy Birthday, Subo. How much can somebody's life turn around? So it is a great story, bless her.
Do you know what? I think I've lost count of the number of celebrity autobiographies that have been released recently. Cheryl Cole,
yes.
She did a signing of hers. Tony Blair, slightly different, the Prime Minister, and they always do. Jordan, which she's on. She's done many autobiographies. And you have people like Russell Brand and Paul O'Grady and Stephen Fry, who are on their second bit of their autobiography. They're not just doing one. There we have Jordan. She's made a huge career out of it. I went into the bookshop there and I had a look at everyone who's out just now. You've got Michael McIntyre, Michael Parkinson, Darren Brown, Susan Boyle, Russell Brand, Stephen Fry. You've even got Mrs. Stephen Fry, who isn't a real person, but it's an alter ego, who's the wife of Stephen Fry. Are they selling?
Very disappointing last year, which wasn't too surprising because we're in a recession, and also it was overcrowded. Richard Madeley, the presenter, came out and said he was a bit embarrassed by his sales because there were so many out there. It was actually hard to see what was on offer. This year, publishers have been a little more cautious. They've gone for the really big names. You have the likes of Justin Bieber, who's only 16 or 17, seems daft, but he'll go for the teen market. And you have the big stars like Chris Evans, Michael Parkinson, Gok Wan, Joe Brand. But where publishers can get burnt, and they definitely did last year, was they give you a big advance and they never earn it out. The celebrities often don't earn it out.
You see, as you indicated, and I think it would be fair to say that this has been ghost-written for Susan Boyle, as many of them are. And do you think that people, I mean, certainly for me, yes, all right, I like to know their story, but I'd like to think that it was them telling me that story.
Of course you would, and that's where the likes of Stephen Fry differ, because it's so carefully, so it's a masterpiece in words, because he's so intelligent. Susan Boyle probably she didn't write it, but I think she's had an awful lot of input, because reading it, I noticed, I was struck by how personal it was. All the little details are there. I think she sat down with somebody for hours. What does annoy me, and it does annoy novelists, is when celebrities like Jordan or soon to be Cheryl Cole or your Tara Palmer Tompkinson, they write a novel Or maybe they do,
Cheryl Cole's
maybe they
writing
don't.
a novel,
Well,
or somebody
yeah.
is for her.
This really rubs novelists up the wrong way, like
Yeah.
me, who write their own book. Because what chance is there of a real writer getting a deal when you go into the bookshops and all that's there are the big celebs, not just telling their life story, but claiming to be novelists.
And your book is scandalous.
Scandalous. I love a good book plug. Yes.
But there's room in the market for new books about celebrity journalism and about celebrity, not necessarily the autobiographies themselves. Is that what you think?
Yes. What do you mean?
This is a novel about the life of celebrity.
Yes, exactly.
Because people still aspire to, crave, nosy.
We're obsessed with celebrities, and this book goes into sort of my experience as a showbiz reporter, but it's fictional, but there's an awful lot based on real life experience because we are obsessed, and that's why there are so many celebrities out there who are doing reasonably well. When you look at the top 10s of the hardback books being sold, it is dominated by celebrities. But what I've learned, having released this, is how difficult it is to get into the front of shops, to get on bookshelves, to be prominent.
If you haven't got a famous face.
Exactly, because it costs the publisher to get you on the the 2 for 3, the 3 for 2 book deals in Waterstones.
Very interesting. We'll buy them, put them in Christmas presents under the tree, whatever, won't we? Martel, thank you. Good luck with yours.
Laura.
Thank you. Now you're watching Sky News. Some breaking news this lunch.